You told Senator Grassley that you've never represented workers' dignity, didn't you?
That is correct, Senator.
That's not true, is it?
Senator, I have never represented that organization.
Yes, ma'am. That's not true, is it?
Senator, it is true. I served for a period of 2 or 3 years, more than a decade ago, on an advisory board to help them set up as a nonprofit.
In fact, you were so supportive of workers' dignity that not only did you represent them, you didn't charge them a fee. Isn't that correct?
Senator, when I was on their advisory board more than a decade ago, I did volunteer my time.
Right. You know what this is? Do you recognize that picture?
No, Senator.
This is from Workers' Dignity's website.
Okay. If that clip didn't make your jaw drop, I don't know what will. What you just watched is Senator John Kennedy doing what very few politicians actually have the guts to do. Calling someone out on the record in front of the entire Senate with receipts. Now, I've watched a lot of these hearings. Most of the time, nominees come in with rehearsed answers, senators ask safe questions, and everybody goes home happy. But every once in a while, someone thinks they've gotten away with something, and the camera keeps rolling. Miss Campbell looked Senator Grassley dead in the eye and said she had never represented workers' dignity. Grassley, being the gentleman he is, actually apologized for his own accurate research and moved on. And she just let him. She sat there and let an innocent man apologize for telling the truth. That's the moment that got me. And then Senator Kennedy walked in. If you're enjoying this, hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. We talk real politics, no filter, no spin. And drop a comment below. Do you think Miss Campbell should have been confirmed after this? Now let's watch the full thing because it only gets better.
Threatened into... Thank you, Senator.
Thank you. Chair recognizes Senator Grassley.
Thank you for taking 2 of my questions.
You're welcome. I'll send you a bill.
Ms. Campbell, according to the AVVO, I don't know whether that's pronounced, I have a profile. It appears that you served as legal counsel to a group named Workers' Dignity. This group has taken a number of radical leftist positions. For example, Workers' Dignity has advocated for abolition of what they call oppressive systems like police and the military. Do you agree with this position? Do you support the abolition of police and military?
Senator, respectfully, I have never represented that organization, and I do not agree with that position.
Well, then I'm sorry that our research wasn't as accurate as it ought to be. I'll yield.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Campbell, you lied to Senator Grassley, didn't you?
No, Senator.
You told Senator Grassley that you've never represented workers' dignity, didn't you?
That is correct, Senator.
That's not true, is it?
Senator, I have never represented that organization.
Yes, ma'am. That's not true, is it?
Senator, it is true. I served for a period of 2 or 3 years, more than a decade ago, on an advisory board to help them set up as a nonprofit.
In fact, you were so supportive of workers' dignity that not only did you represent them, you didn't charge them a fee. Isn't that correct?
Senator, when I was on their advisory board more than a decade ago, I did volunteer my time.
Right. You know what this is? Do you recognize that picture?
No, Senator.
This is from Workers' Dignity's website. There you are, right here. It's got your name. Wow. Judge Lopez, you,
Okay, we just watched the whole thing, and I need a second. What Senator Kennedy did there is what real accountability looks like. No teleprompter. No pre-written attack lines. Just a man who did his homework and refused to let a lie slide, even after the lie had already worked on someone else. Let's start with Grassley. He asked a completely reasonable question. He had research, he had a source, and the moment Campbell pushed back, he folded and apologized. Look, I'm not going to hammer the man for that. Taking someone at their word is a decent quality in a normal person. But in a confirmation hearing, you cannot afford to do that. Kennedy knew that. So Kennedy steps up, and the first thing out of his mouth is, "Miss Campbell, you lied to Senator Grassley, didn't you?" Not, "Could you clarify?" or "Did you perhaps misremember?" He said lied. Directly. To her face. On the Senate floor. And that word matters because it's the accurate one, and most politicians are too scared to use it. Watch how she responds, though. She doesn't crumble. She holds the line, stays calm, and tries the same answer that worked on Grassley. And Kennedy doesn't blink. He just keeps walking her through it, step by step, until she has nowhere left to go. She didn't formally represent them in a legal case, sure. She can hide behind that. But she sat on their advisory board for 2 to 3 years. And she did it for free. She volunteered her time. Now who does that for an organization they claim to have no real connection to? And then he pulls out the photo. From Workers' Dignity's own website. Her face. Her name. Right there. That's the sound of a story falling apart in real time. Here's what gets me most. This wasn't really about Workers' Dignity's politics. It was about whether someone asking to be trusted with power could tell the truth under pressure. She couldn't, or she chose not to. Either way, that's disqualifying. Kennedy didn't grandstand or give a big speech. He just asked questions, let the evidence speak, and let her dig the hole deeper with every answer. That is how you hold power accountable. So, should she have been confirmed? Not a chance. Not because of who she volunteered for a decade ago, but because when she had the chance to be straight with the Senate, she wasn't. And that tells you everything. Drop your thoughts in the comments and subscribe if you want more breakdowns like this. I'll see you in the next one.